important milestone. The Brooklyn Center mayor announced Tuesday a new citation and summons policy, changing how the city handles arrests. In many ways, the new policy is not all that new. Reporter Sonia Goins shows details of the plan and how it could impact residents.
Now, the policy changes come after a former Brooklyn Center police officer fatally shot Dante Wright back in April. Now, on Tuesday, the city announced that changes to the citation and summons policy are now effective. However, the interim police chief says they're already doing some of those things. Tuesday morning, Brooklyn Center Mayor Mike Elliott spoke about changes to the citations and summons policy. The policy requires Brooklyn Center police officers to only issue citations for misdemeanor and gross misdemeanor offenses when an arrest is not required by law. Mayor Elliott says the changes would help to de-escalate situations.
The policy does not apply to felony offenses and allows a person to be held in limited situations when required.
Mayor Elliott also says the police chief was involved in the policy change.
The police chief has been involved in the process of developing this policy. He has initiated the process of communicating with his staff.
And however, CCX News obtained a copy of an email from interim police chief Tony Grunick. In part, it reads, quote, "We did not play an active, equal role in crafting this."
It's my understanding that the police department had already started to, in some regard, do some of these practices.
According to the email from Grunick, in the near future, the department will be implementing this policy after they have made the necessary changes. But he doesn't think the new policy will have a major impact on day-to-day operations because the department already does most, if not all, of these things already.
Another important aspect of this policy is that it requires officers to keep records specifically identifying the reasons why a person was not issued a citation and released.
The city also had input from community members on the policy change.
We did steady, consistent engaging of the community because we understood that in this process, we have to prioritize the community every step of the way.
The mayor says the policy changes will force the city council to look at its budget. Currently, the city spends about 43% of the budget on policing. In Brooklyn Center, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
The Organization of Liberians in Minnesota is a step closer to expanding a community center space in Brooklyn Park.
This has been a dream of our community, and as we're growing, we're expanding. We want to expand both in size and needs and services.
The organization says it has more people who need services than it has space. It's currently trying to purchase additional space in this office building on 78th Avenue off of Brooklyn Boulevard. OLM offers before and after school tutoring, programming for elders, and workforce services.
We are the trusted messenger for our community because we know what the challenges are because we live through those challenges. And all we are saying, we can make it better for ourselves. We have to come together as a community and go forward.
The group is about $7,000 short of its $56,000 down payment. They've set up a GoFundMe page to help reach their goal. Fast-growing bakery franchise Crumbl Cookie is celebrating its 4th birthday, and a Maple Grove employee is part of the especially sweet milestone. His latest creation is part of this week's birthday cookie lineup. Nina Bupasavan has a story.
Congratulations, Cameron!
This is a celebration of my latest creation, the golden Oreo cookies and cream.
In just 5 months of working at Crumbl Cookie in Maple Grove, Cameron McKinty is going national. Or at least his cookie is.
It just came to me in my head, and now I got my wish come true.
His cookie is one of the 4 flavors for Crumbl's 4th birthday.
Once you taste it, you'll say golden Oreos rule the world.
But while his cookie is cause for a celebration, Cameron's joy comes from his work, made possible by the nonprofit Choice.
Our whole mission is to help people with intellectual disabilities find happiness. With Crumbl Cookie, they actually reached out to Choice, and we couldn't think of anybody that would be a better match than Cameron.
A job that gives him so much more than a paycheck.
My biggest goal for the job is to give back to the community. That there's nothing more beautiful than a positive, happy mind.
When you have a child that has to work a little bit harder to do things a lot of us do and take for granted, it's so incredible to see them succeed, and in such a big way. I mean, you know, 250 stores across the country and this big party and all these wonderful people. It's a big deal, and it's the biggest deal is because it makes him so happy.
People are going to be talking about this for years. Say, yeah, I remember that guy's cookie. They were delicious.
Nina Bupasavan, CCX News.
This week, Maple Grove is remembering a firefighter who died of cancer last year.
Mike Piter had a way of working with young people, whether it was his kids' basketball teams or new firefighters or even senior firefighters. As a coach, he could get us to do things that we didn't even believe in ourselves.
Mike Piter was a full-time firefighter and a medic for the St. Paul Fire Department, and in his off hours, he was a paid-on-call firefighter at Maple Grove Station 5. He passed away last August, and the station has a locker memorial set up to remember the man who always pushed them.
Good was never good enough if you could work to become better. So we try to keep Mike's memory alive by, we train hard, we train frequently, and we work together.
Maple Grove is remembering Captain Piter this week in a big way too. The city has the town green lit up with red lights in Mike's honor for Light the Night for Fallen Firefighters.